Hello and welcome people to Monster Hunter World. I originally thought to make this video differently by starting with the funny line of if you wanted to go through the real American yeehaw experience of going to other lands and hunting them animals with my guns. Hell yeah, brother! I love me some eradication of the wildlife just to build my coal factory. I love freedom, brother. Yeah, nah, the more I played the more that thing faded away. Once I was playing Monster Hunter and talking to my friend. He made a good suggestion. Not good, a perfect one. Name the video, this game broke me, and something clicked in me. My mind was opened. I started the game full of hope and positive feelings. Now, I've been completely changed. I've never felt more in pieces than ever. This game put me to the test. My nerves wrecked, my life in shambles, my feelings non-existent. As if mastering this game made me emotionless. It took my humanity away. You know, at first I was like, yo, the handler kinda hot though. She may talk a lot, but she fine. Now, when she merely speaks, I swear I will end her existence. I will feed her to the dogs. When I'm raging and trying to focus, don't you ever speak to me, woman. I don't care about your advices. I am locked in. Listen, I might be trashing the game right now, but I'm seriously addicted to it. Never ever before has a game made me feel love and hatred twice in the span of 5 seconds, or has broken me completely that I either watch the WoW in pure silence after I defeat a monster I got clapped by, or created a second and third character just to play the game again, but lower rank and with different weapons. Some people might say I have a mental illness, but I digress. Or at some point when I tried out the guns in the game, for some reason, I cannot say why, I got so mad. Listen. I started making loud monkey noises and screech so loud I even got stunned that I can rage so bad. And it was at an Anjanat fight. And you know what's the funniest thing? It's my most hunted monster and yet something in me clicked. Am I going fucking insane? I've lost my last drop of sanity in me. If perhaps at the time of publishing this video I end up in an asylum. In my basement there is a secret button below the dusty workbench which leads to a narrow corridor and to a big open room full of classified documents. Get everything inside and run. Go as far as possible from my country and burn the documents. If by any chance the glowing agents catch you, there is a detonator hidden inside the briefcase. Activate it. That's information I've not told you. It was only a vision. Anyways, I've played the game non-stop for the couple last months, mastering boss fights and liquefying my brain. I've personally had a lot of fun exploring and fighting the different kinds of monsters. At the same time, I've raged a lot and probably called 80% of the bosses dog shit at least 5 times. I'll first start with the main game, then I'll talk about Iceborne, because it's quite of a big expansion. The story of the main game is, well, strange. It starts by you and other people going to the new world, and you meet your 2 new friends, the excited A-lister and the serious handler. From there you can create your own character. I'm going to say that the game has quite a lot of voice options, and as well you can create your own cat helper. After that you meet your handler and your ship gets attacked by a big boy, and you have to escape. Then you're going to arrive in a forest called the Ancient Forest, where it takes painstakingly long for the handler to fucking move her ass to the main town. You get attacked and then you get saved by the feud team leader, you get introduced to the places in the town and you get your first assignment. There is this big monster which we have to defeat called Zora Magdaros, who can change the whole system by eradicating everything. You have to do 2 siege battles before eventually defeating him for good. Then you have to fight other elder dragons which affect the ecosystem in a bad way. Then you have to fight a newborn dragon called Xenojiva to again protect the ecosystem. Main fact, let me mention, you're killing a child. That's how the whole story goes. On the way you meet new characters, and I want to say, when the tracker saves us and introduces herself in 2 short scenes, after that she gets into trouble and we have to save her. And for God's sake, the handler fucking cries a whole sea of tears when she gets back safely. Am I supposed to be sad? We have seen her only twice and she overreacts. Maybe it's me, but this ain't making sense. As well, I like to add, you know how your whole mission is to protect the ecosystem, yet we kill every creature we meet and capture capture them for our benefits. Hey, it is what it is. Anyways, that's the main game story shortly explained. Before I talk about everything else, I will introduce you to Astera. You have the trade yard where you have the provision stockpile in which you can buy stuff from, the resource center where you can complete bounties or turn in deliveries given by NPCs, the elder melder where you can meld items, the botanical research where you can harvest different kinds of plants, the ecological research which shows you information about monsters, and the argosy which allows you to buy items with research points. Then you have the smithy where you can craft, upgrade your equipment and put decorations on it, but about that later in the video. You have the canteen where you can eat food in order to increase your health and get bonuses. Every different kind of food combination gives you different kinds of effects. And finally we have the gathering hub where you can see other players and play arena quests with other people or alone. That's the whole town. Now the regions. You have 5 different regions, each with specific monsters in it. The first area is the ancient forest, which is a big ass forest area, and typically you can meet the Anjuna, Puke, Ruffian, Great Yagras and the Tobikadachi. The second one is the Wildspire Waste, which is my personal favorite area because unlike the others, it's a big open area which is easier to fight in and to explore. Most often you'll find the Diablos, Barav, Kuluyaku, Ruffian, Puke and others. The third one is the Rotten Vale, which probably is the worst area in the game. You find the Odogaran, Great Girus, Radoban and others. The fourth one is the Coral Highlands. There you can find Paulumu, Tsitsiyaku, Legiana and the Kirin. The last area in the main game is the Elder's Recess, which is a high rank area. Zones have ranks, and let's say that the low rank which you start in is the tutorial. High rank is the easy mode. In this area you will find the Urugan, Wavasiov, Nergigante, Dodogama and others. Alright, now comes the monsters. I have made a tier list from dog shit to good monsters. First of all, we have the Great Yagras, who is the first boss you'll meet and fight. I'll put him in the easy monsters category, cause well, he's not that strong and has little attack patterns. He can become very fat if there are people with this interest. Kuluyaku is again, in my humble opinion, a very easy boss. Besides his ability to get a rock and cancel 80% of my head attacks with a hammer, removing my dopamine intakes, he's an alright boss. Puke goes to the alright boss category. It's an easy monster fight. He does poison attacks which are not annoying and easily dodgeable. Tobikadachi goes to the good monster category. Firstly, I found him annoying with his fast attacks and increase of stun attacks, but replaying him made me change my opinion. Personally, I don't mind him. His attack patterns are not bullshit, and once you learn him, it gets better. Anjuna goes to the mid monsters category, because his attacks annoyed the fuck out of me. The last time I fought him, I raged so hard, I didn't even know I could rage like that. As I've said before, I've screamed, abused my desk so bad that I started worrying that the quake from the smashes will break my PC. So instead, I went to fucking smash my bed like a monkey. The things that enraged me were his fire attacks, and once when he did a charge, I got killed from 1 centimeter of his body. Which, that's one of my bad points for the game, is sometimes I don't know how the damage register works. One time I get hit, other times I don't. The other thing I hate is his spin attack. Which, why the fuck did they make him do a whole ass fucking spin? Which hits me every time. This made me break. Mid boss, don't like him much. The Barrief is an alright boss. He's not hard and his attacks are pretty memorable. Keep in mind, his head is not a weak point. The Jurototus is an easy monster. Only thing which annoyed me were the fish enemies around him which interfere when I do a hit. Polumo goes to the alright monsters. Only thing that annoys me is his fat fucking form, cause he acts like a retard. But you can use flash pots against flying monsters to take them down. Plus he's ugly. Radoban is, to be fair, a good monster fight. I really don't hate him much. Somehow I don't have any bad memories about him. But you know, dementia. Legiana will be put to a hold for later. I have a personal grudge against her. That's for when I talk about the DLC monsters. Odogaran is a good monster. He's a bit fast which annoys me, but I truly have mastered this fight, cause I farm him for specific reasons. It's only the bleed attack which annoys me a lot, because what I hate the most is when I have to disarm myself. And what makes him even better is the hot female armor. Anyways, Great Girus is an alright boss. His minions can die. Ruffian is a mid monster. Fuck flying monsters. Same goes for his different variants. All of them are mid, because in one fight I got stunned, poisoned and set on fire at the same time. So I had to stay there at the mercy of this monster, begging not to get hit. But he's not as annoying as the Raphaelos monster, because this bitch and his variants fly all the time. I despise him so much. Diablos is an alright boss. He's not as annoying as I thought he would be. Black Diablos, his different variant, is on the edge between mid and alright, cause his attacks can be pretty annoying. Tsitsiyaku is an easy monster. He only has a stun attack which is easily dodgeable. These were all introduced in the low rank part of the game. They're in the high rank as well, which just increases their damage and health. Now the ones in high rank, Lava Sayut is an alright boss, pretty easy to be fair. He's like Juratodus, but fire. Uragan is on the edge as well, but I'll put him in the right monsters because I hate his fucking bombs and spinning. And when he's enraged, god damn, he's annoying. And monsters can get enraged, which makes them more aggressive and annoying. In this stage you should more focus on dodging and watching for an opening, otherwise yeah, have fun being useless. Dodogama is a good monster, because he's fat and looks hella cute. I don't know man, he's just very adorable. I like him. Basil Goose is your bomber plane, who invades your missions and expeditions every time. I swear to god, he's so annoying. Once I'm just fighting a monster and then I just see bombs dropping from the sky. I'll put him in the right monster category. Now we have the Elder Dragons. So, every monster I've mentioned above can be captured, and when you capture a monster you get more materials. So I recommend you to always capture them. But first you have to weaken them enough to be able to capture them. How do you know you can? Well, there are three methods. First is when you weaken the monster enough, you start limping to his hideout and go to sleep. There, you can throw 2 trunky bombs and then put either a pitfall trap or a shock trap. I prefer the shock one. These items are craftable in your crafting's list tab when you interact with your chest. The second way is by looking at his poos at the bottom left of your screen. And now be fair, I don't know how to determine it. The third way is by reaching level 3 on research while on a mission. You can get there by getting more footprints and clues from the ground. Then when you get enough, on the minimap on your screen a skull will appear when the monster is almost dead. Elder Dragons cannot be captured but only slayed. And you know, it should be that way. Elder Dragons are the most fucking annoying monsters to fight. We have Teostra, who is the only Elder Dragon fight I like, and his armor sets look badass. And as well it fits my playstyle. He's a good monster, it's one of my most favorite fights ever. Lunastra though, dogshit fight. I hate her with passion, it's so annoying. Constant fire attacks and dodging. It irritates me so much when I have to just dodge and wait. And I know that I have to be patient, but I'm not. I want to go in and fight, not stay away for billions of years to get a hit on a monster. If you go,
but be patient, that's how you win.
Shh, shh, I will kiss you. I don't care. I'm impatient and I will not change. The next one is Vohazak. Fuck this boss. He kept me on my toes all the time. His health reduction ability can go jump off a roof. The people who thought to make these fights are pure horrific beings. Kushala Daora is pure hatred. I hate him so much. He keeps moving and flying. He constantly spits tornadoes and always stays in them. Who made this fight? I will find you and I will give you a hug and compliments. Thank god I didn't have to farm him. Kirin is an Elder Dragon. I don't know how and why. A fucking unicorn is an Elder Dragon, but I despise him as well, because his lightning attacks are annoying. And I've gotten stunned constantly by his attacks. It's not the way he moves, but the stuns. Getting stunned in this game is pure dogshit in my opinion, and it takes so long to remove it. It's a bad mechanic, you lose control of your character for a long time, and it's cheap. It's an unnecessary mechanic which gives the enemy an easy shot at you. What the fuck am I supposed to do? It's the reason I put monsters down a level, because it's just annoying.
But you can put a decoration to remove it.
That's a whole slot, my boy. Are you mentally damaged? I don't care what you think, it's bad. That's it. Anyways, Zorah Magdaros is an Elder Dragon as well. I mean, it's not really a fight, is it? I'm going to put him in a new category, he's just there. Nergigant is a difficult and quite an annoying fight, but I'm not gonna put him anywhere here. I'll make a separate category for him called the real one. He fits on Elder Dragons as an Elder Dragon. What is there more to say? It does not matter how hard he is. If he kills these annoying bastards, I'm all for it. The more of them die, the better. I mean, in the lore it says they're bad for the ecosystem, so in theory, Nergigant is doing good by killing them. That just makes him the good guy.
I don't know, man.
And now the last monster fight. the almighty Xenojiva, the newborn dragon we have to kill because he bad. I mean, I'm just following what the game says. He's an alright monster fight, a bit annoying because he's the largest monster he can fight and his movesets are but it's the final boss, so I give it a pass. And there you go, you've completed the game, congratulations. What now? Well, there is still more. We have special assignments, collaborations and event quests. The first one is fighting Devil Joe, who eats everything and just like the Basil Goose invades your session. He's more annoying than the bomber plane, but I still don't hate him as much as the Elder Dragons. An alright monster in my opinion. After defeating him you'll get the Dragon Proof Mantle. The other two are the Teostro and Lunastro, which already talked about. We have one which I think it's a Final Fantasy XIV collab, and you have to fight an ever-growing Kuluyaku, pretty alright. The next one is a mission after this one, which you have to fight a monster called the Behemoth. I fought him once and never again. His introduction was annoying and I said fuck it, I can't be bothered, so leave him in the I don't care category. And the last one is a Witcher 3 collab, where you play as Geralt of Rivia, and you have to take out a monster called the Leshen, who is an alright monster, and it's the only quest you get complimented in. And the final one is a multiplayer event quest where you have to fight a monster called Kufterov. The way this fight works is the more you fight him, the better weapons you get. But sadly, in order to play it with other players, you have to be in the same session. Because when you go on a normal mission, you can always fire an SOS flare and players from different sessions can join you. Which I really like this feature because I can play with other players, which is the best part of the game. But more about that later. That's everything for the main game. Now Iceborne. Iceborne is a huge ass expansion. It feels more like a different game than an expansion. It has so much content, even more than the main game one, I think. The Iceborne expansion adds a new armor and weapon types called the Defender sets. This armor set and weapons are to help you speedrun through the main game, and I will admit I started with the Defender set. Cope as you wish. The story of Iceborne goes as this. There has been a problem with the arrogant bitch called Legiana, and we have to investigate it. As we proceed our investigation, we have to fight the new and reskinned monsters. But then we found out the cause of this was an Elder Dragon called Velkana. We go kill her, but then oh no, more Elder Dragons appear, and then we found out that it was not Velkana, but another Elder Dragon, who caused the ecosystem to change. We killed the bad dragon, we name it Shara Ishvalda, and that's the main story of the expansion. After that you unlock the endgame content, but about that after I raid the monsters. The new zone that you'll get introduced to is the Horforced Reach, which is a fully snowy area, and you need to have a hot drink on, because if you go without it, you will steadily lose stamina. As well, we will unlock a new rank called the Master rank, which basically means you have reached normal mode. As well, we have a new town called Selina. Selina looks magnificent. I love this new town design. It's livelier. I love how they remade the gathering hub and combined it with the smithy. I think that would make more people to be there, and you get your own room to design. I absolutely love that. And as well, you can have people enter your room as well. Makes it better. It improves the game in the aspect of being alive and cozy. First on our list is Beltodus, and at first I struggled fighting him because I didn't know how to prevent my stamina from going down. So I had to fight him at minimum stamina, and I was being too brain damaged to go to camp and fix it. It's an alright boss, I just wish I wasn't so stupid. Then we have Banbaro. I'll put him in the good boss category, but his tree attack is trash. Viper Tobi Kadachi was the first boss that started breaking my nerves. From this boss on, my mental health only went downhill. How come you make a good monster to pure annoyance? Why did you have to give him poison? I could have been happy. Nightshade Paulumu is a mid-boss. I get very irritated when he starts flying and spits his asthma clouds everywhere. The Koro Puke Puki is alright. Only thing is them attacks are sus as hell. The Barrier. I hate fast bosses, I hate waiting, I hate patience. I'm a brainless ape when it comes to fighting creatures. Mid-boss. Nargacuga is again a fast boss, but then I got better at the game and enjoyed the fight until he did that bullshit fucking attack. This is the first of many bullshits I have experienced. Because of that, he goes to the mid tier. Glavenus is an alright monster. No bullshits happened there, and it wasn't that hard to be fair. It was enjoyable and he looks pretty damn cool. The Tigrex is a mid monster. His constant charging attacks just become pure annoyance. The Brahudios is an alright monster. I didn't have much trouble fighting him. Only thing I didn't like is the way I have to remove his debuff. Now, my generous viewers, comes the stage of disparity in my life. This is where I truly broke. This is where the game teared down my nervous system. The shrieking Legiana fight. That's why I saved the putrid bitch Legiana for the end. Why in the world would you make me fight two monsters at a time? Whose genius idea was it to just throw two annoying bosses at once? Yes, I know the poo-poo pot exists. Shut up. I fought it without it, and I fucking won. But they just kept on flying and flying, kept on doing attacks, and I was left at the mercy of God. And when I tried to attack, the cursed creature doesn't attack. Oh nice, I have the frozen debuff. Woohoo! Eat berry. Whoops! Again, and again, and again, and again! I started breathing so heavy as if I was dying, and I even felt nauseous. I felt like I was going to faint. Who made this? You should live happily ever after. Dog shit monster fight, both of them dog shit. I don't care what you say, that was too much unnecessary difficulty, and not to say that they can stun you too. Go swim in a pool faucet. Next one on the list is Fugger Anjanath. Mid-boss, normal Anjana, but electricity. Acidic Glavnus is an alright monster. It's just a reskin, but with less annoying elements. Ebony Odogaron is an alright monster. Didn't hate him at all. Was just like the normal one, but with extra attacks. Velkana goes to the dogshit monster category. I didn't lose cause I died from her. I ran out of time and almost did again. It was such a tiring fight. I had to dodge and dodge and dodge, waiting for an opening after 1,000 years and then repeat. Every time I tried to hit her, she fled to the other side of the map. One thing I hate about the monsters in Iceborne is just why do you have to make them flee to the other side of the map when I try to attack them? Like it becomes just a chase and dodge game. It isn't fun, it's just a horrible boss design and it's so draining. Then we have Seeding Bezugus, who is alright to be fair, nothing different. Black Veil Valhazak goes to dogshit fight. It's more like surviving the Black Plague than fighting a creature. Namili is generally the most enjoyable fight I've had in the expansion. It's a cool monster and his attack patterns are not as irritating than the other ones. But he goes to the right boss category. The reason why is when I was at the end of fighting the boss, I had like 10 minutes left and the monster had the skull status and I was doing fine until, ladies and gentlemen, until it did that fucking bullshit. The attack ended and yet I still got registered. Excuse me, but the attack was gone. It is clearly a bug. Nuh-uh. Save your opinion for the trash. And then I fucking died and I had to go back again and I ran out of time. What is this dog shit? I even complimented the monster fight and immediately after that, BAM! Dead to bullshit. Yeah, nah, I fired the SOS flare, I am dealing with this. And after all this, you come to the final monster fight, Shara Ishvalda. The fight first starts with him being covered in stone. Then he goes to his true form. I think that was a pretty good monster fight. Way better than the final main game one. Goes to the good monster category. And there you have it, you finish the expansion. But there is more, my charitable viewers. Welcome to the endgame. When you defeat Shara Ishvalda, a variant of Nergigante called the Ruiner Nergigante will lead you to the Guiding Lands. This new location is purely only for grinding and upgrading your equipment even further. You unlock layered armor, which serves as cosmetics. The Grinding Lands has the 6 main locations in the game but compressed together, and the more you mine, slay or capture monsters in a specific area, its level will go up and the rarity of materials and monsters goes up. But you have to do all because if you neglect one for a while, its level drops. But as well, if you get enough clues by fighting monsters which are given to you, you can lure different monsters. Here is where I truly began enjoying the game once more. Some freedom and some space for fresh air was given to me. The exploration felt even more special for me. I had fun hunting monsters and farming materials in the Grinding Lands. And here is as well where I truly embraced the multiplayer part of the game. I had a lot of fun playing and interacting with other players. I met some of the nicest and weirdest people in Monster Hunter World. Plus, it makes the game a lot easier. I've tried to record every interaction I've had with people and as well I've taken several screenshots of people's lines. If you, let's say, mount a monster or weaken it, specific lines will get triggered randomly, which you can change. As well, players can exchange guild cards with each other. That means you can interact and make their Paricus join your team. Or when you send a Tail Raider Safari, it will be their own Palicus. Tail Raider Safari works as another method to farm materials. And as well, players have weird names? And why do I 70% of the time join this guy's session? Is there something I need to know? Without the multiplayer, I could have not endured the Iceborne Endgame special assignments. This is where the game from normal mode goes to insanity, and I'll personally thank some people who have been very friendly and helpful to me when I raid the Endgame monsters. But before that, I think it's time to talk about the armory. If you have reached this part of the video, I truly admire your dedication to my video. I really appreciate you still enduring my yapping. I hope you have a prosperous life, my humble viewer. Now let me brainwash you and bombard you with pure propaganda. Every other weapon besides the hammer is trash. Before you decide to counter my view, I suggest you to save it when I'm railing your well mother later tonight. The hammer is the most fun weapon in the game. Every time I land a hit, every time I finish a combo, every time I successfully make a monster fall, a large wave of ecstasy floods my monkey sensors. The sweet hit sounds makes me have the hardest erection known to man. Whenever I down a monster and I execute my heavy attack combo perfectly, I release my seeds of love. I twitch from the incomprehensible pleasure. I scream like an aroused animal. The hammer has a 3 light hit attack combo, a 5 heavy attack combo which you should use whenever you down a monster. That's when you maximize your damage output. And it's where each time I do my heavy attack hit, I scream like a monkey. You can charge your hammer by holding the necessary key for it. I don't know which one is on default. I'm on mouse and keyboard. For me it's one of the side buttons on my mouse. There are 3 stages of charge. The first one which does a weak bash but can be followed by another attack instantly. The second charge does an uppercut hit which typically has a higher chance of stunning the monster. As a hammer user you should always aim for the head because that's how you take them down as far as I know. The third charge is either a 2-hit attack or if you walk and release the button you begin to spin, and you can do an attack depending on how far you have spun, or if you right click while charging you can change the mode. Which I have no idea what it does, but I know if you reach the third charge level and you release the charge button you do a cool attack. If you're on the second or third level you can always press C for your clutch claw and do another attack combo. The clutch claw has been added in Iceborne, with which you can claw to one of the monster's body parts and weaken it, or you can bash it to a wall. But the best ability that the hammer has is the spinning charge attack. It's one of the most satisfying things I ever witnessed. Whenever you're running down a slope you can charge up your hammer, and whenever you release the button you do an epic spin and finish with a slam. That right here, viewers, is perfection. But listen, it's not only slopes, but sometimes you can just slide on a random part and still activate it. I've done it several times and I don't know why it works. I do it every time I can, and so you should too. But what annoys me the most is them katana users. Every goddamn time I want to attack, it takes one of their hits to intercept with me and I get stun locked, unable to do anything. And as soon as I have an opening, the monster is up, and I refuse to put a flinch-free decoration on me. It takes one whole slot. I have a personal grudge with these people. But if you're a pathetic and weak person, other easier weapons you can use, which I like, are the retarded brother of the hammer, the great sword, the light bowgun, which is overpowered. I have always been carried by people who use range weapons, but my personal favorite to use is the light one. And as much as I hate to say it, the katana as well is a very good weapon, and the switch axe, which is pretty cool. And the other weapon which I respect the most and comes second best behind the hammer is the hunting horn. I will admit that the only 2 best kinds of players are the hammer and the hunting horn ones. I really love how the weapon plays, quite similar to the hammer, and it just feels very good to use. You can insert notes by using attacks and then buff yourself and your teammates by playing a melody, which serves as an attack too. There are other weapons which I will not talk about because I personally don't like them. They are either too slow or they make you an open target. Weapons have specific elements which you can use depending on the weakness of the monster, but I will say that I have only used the fire element just once and only stuck myself to the explosion alignment. Cope as much as you want, but the blast is the best one and works very well with the hammer. Every time you do a hit there is a guaranteed chance you will do a fixed number of damage. For low and high rank is 120 and for master rank is 300, and when it aligns with a large damage pool it feels excellent. There are different kinds of armor sets with different kinds of attributes, which gives you the opportunity to customize your own playstyle. Mine personally involves more damage, defense, critical strike and blast damage. Besides the armor's own attributes, weapons and armors have decoration slots in which you can put different kind of gems to improve a certain stat and further customize your playstyle. And the last bit of information is you can as well forge gear for your palico. Good alignments to have for your palico is probably sleep and paralyze, but because I'm an addict, I use blast. We finally have the special assignment, monster fights. Firstly, you're going to fight an ever-raging Kirin, which holy shit, it just doesn't stop moving. The first endgame monster is the Rajang. He kept on fucking my ass over and over and over. It's just whenever I begin fighting a fast monster, my brain gets an aneurysm. It's like I'm fighting myself, a brainless monkey who just keeps on attacking. And as well, when you get hit once and you get stunned, it's game over. I just can't be patient, but I would say that the soundtrack for this fight is incredible. I'll put him in the mid-monster category. The next one is Stygian Zinogre. Him and his normal variant go to the good monster category. I personally enjoyed the fight and somehow I was more concentrated when fighting him. And here comes the two most enraging monster fights I ever had. The first one is the Furious Rajang fight. How come you be that sick-minded that you decide to make an already difficult boss harder and faster? Whose genius idea was it? Why is it always these companies that just enjoy when people suffer, as if it makes them aroused? I wasted around 12 runs just to defeat him. I'll be fair, 3 of them were solo, others multiplayer. Trash boss, fuck you for making him. I would like to thank a person named Minara for sticking through for several fights, even when we were getting destroyed. If you're watching this, thank you. And as well, I would like to thank the people with whom I managed to defeat the monster. You saved me arrows of sorrow. The last person I would like to thank is Ruiner Nergigante, who goes to the bro category without a doubt. I didn't mention him earlier because of this. He came in and swooped Rajang's ass. Twice has this beast helped me out. How come he be the bad guy? The next one is Raging Brahudius. He was just made to be infuriating. That piece of trash has 20k HP and moves constantly. Not only, but on top of that, he sets an explosive glue on you, so you have to roll 5 times to remove it. And why would you make him drop goo when he's being hit on his head or hands? Why was that necessary? It's a dog shit fight, I hate it. But I needed his mentor to get the best explosion hammer. But I didn't grind him, I cheesed him. I didn't want to fight him 10 times more just for one mentor, which has a 7% chance to drop when his head is broken. I didn't want to make additional equipment just to farm him. What I did is simple, but this only works when there is a festival going on. Otherwise, I don't think it works. Go to the Steam workstation and start playing. Stop immediately before you begin overdrive. Oh, can you tell? Well, look at the bar. Yellow means first stage, orange means second, and the red is the overdrive meter. Stop at 1 bar remaining. Save your game. Then exit the game and disconnect your device from the internet or unplug your internet cable from your device. Then join the game again. Finish off your Steam works and then you have a guaranteed Celestial Wolverine print given to you. You can use the Celestial print to melt mentors together. You can call me whatever, but I have my limits, and I can't be bothered to spend 20 hours more for one mental. The following 2 final monster fights are even harder than the rest before, which is agreeably so. Elitruan has 50k HP. I played the monster only on multiplayer because his health is too high for me to solo him. He is soloable, but it's agony doing so. It took me more than 20 tries to finally kill him twice. He does a non-dodgeable attack which deals tremendous damage to you. The way you can lower the potential injuries is by having people in your team use either water, ice or fire elements, and try breaking his horns to limit his damage even further. After that, when he activates his Eschaton Judgment, go as far as possible from him and get your heals ready. What I used and made me survive 80% of the time was the Vitality Mantle and the Health Booster. Equip the Mantle and set the booster, then equip your healing potion and drink it. Repeat the cycle. This is the only boss which made me reorganize my whole inventory setup and make my own playstyle, which as well showed me how bad the UI of the game is. It's nightmarish. I gave up on the radio menu, I just used my spin thingy on the bottom right. I think it's a good monster fight. It pushes the limits of your skills and tries to make you do something different. It's a very well designed endgame monster. And the last of the last final boss of the game, the ender of all things, Fatalis. He has around 66k HP and deals a lot of damage. He is by the hardest boss fight. He can't get stunned but only taken down. You need to use your surroundings in your benefit. Try to wall smash him every time for a sweet damage boost. Keep in mind that you have 30 minutes to slay him. Use your time wisely. I would recommend to play with other players, but that's just me. Thankfully the developers finally had some sympathy for us and gave us 5 feints for this one. But once you're done with the quest, the repeatable one gets reduced to 3. He does several Nova attacks which does the same as the Elytron one, but this time you have to hide behind somewhere. In the first one you need to go to discover, then for the second one you need to go to the gate and lock the door. For the other ones coming after, you need to go towards him. I would like to thank this magnificent person called V for the help. You're truly wonderful. I cannot thank him enough. This man soloed the entire boss just for me, and as the true Giga Chat as he is, he let me have the final hit. I love you, man. Thank you again for your generous help. If it wasn't for him, I would have probably wasted 50 hours more in the game. Fatalis has the best weapon which has only one downside and it's affinity reduction, but it's counterable, and as well his armor, the second variant ladies and gentlemen, has 3 major decoration slots. Imagine that. I tried to farm him, but it didn't go quite well. I even made another farming set for only him, but it's quite unfinished. I think he's a good final monster. There are other monsters which can only be found in the event quest table. The Brute Tiger X, who goes to the mid-boss category, as well as the Golden Raphaelos and Silver Ruffian. As well, there is a new Devil Joe variant who is pain to deal with, but I've only fought him twice with other people, so I've not fought the Ancient Leshan, don't really care. Frostfang Barrier is a mid-boss. The Ian Garuga is an alright and funny monster. Look at his size. He has a Scarred variant which is just the same, and you have a same mission type like the Kufterov, but this time it's the grown version of Xenojiva, called the Safi Jiva. I've not played much of it, don't care category. And that's everything for the game, my humble viewers. The game took me more than 200 hours to fully complete. I mean the story, not the whole game. It will take me 200 more to fully complete it. The game is amazing. I've not really played much of these types of games, and I really enjoyed playing it, even if I trashed some of the monsters and I raged incredibly. I rate the game a 9 out of 10, a wonderful experience I've had, and I would recommend buying it for yourself. I hope for the next game they improve the co-op system, because it's the best part of the game, and somehow make the main town like Salina, because I absolutely adore this place. Balance monsters here and there and remove stun. Fuck getting stunned. This video has been the longest I ever done, and I appreciate it if you stick through the end. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Have a nice day. See you soon.